How much difference can a club head actually make? I'm going to put the Black Ops and the Black Ops Tour 1 head to head on the same shaft. Now this is a bigger profile head. It has a much bigger surface area, a bigger footprint behind the ball, and in theory more forgiveness. This is the Black Ops Tour 1. It's a slightly more squatted head. It doesn't have the weight as far back, so it's not as forgiving in theory, but they're both 9 degrees. If I hit both of these drivers on 9 degrees, and then I hit both of them on the same shaft, how much difference do we get from just the style of head? This is the PXG Black Ops driver, and this is the Black Ops Tour 1. It's definitely a smaller profile head. Because this is a smaller profile head, we've got the weight further forward by default because it's more squatted and closer to the face. When we have the weight at the front of a driver, we hit it off center and it twists around that point. When we get the weight back here and hit it off center, it doesn't twist around that point, and that's basically moment of inertia. So when I go to this style of head that gets the weight further back and further away from the face, it is more forgiving in theory, even though we've got both of them at 9 degrees. So this is the PXG Black Ops with the larger profile head and more forgiveness in theory. We're going to see what sort of height we create with this club head, then I'm going to put the same delivery through the Black Ops Tour 1. Now sometimes if the weight's lower down, we can create higher launch and lower spin. Sometimes if the weight's higher up, we can create lower launch with higher spin, even at the same loft. Similar shots there. Fairly uniform. So let's get this head off. Sometimes you have to give it a little knock just to get the shaft out. Same loft settings, same shaft, different head. How much does the ball flight change from a bit of placement of weight? And in this case, a slightly different price tag. The PXG Black Ops Tour 1 is slightly more expensive. Just to the right-hand side of the other grouping, carrying further up, I could feel that off-center hit a lot more. It's fairly middle-ish, similar pattern to the first driver head. Nice. Now in terms of my delivery, I've got a little bit more speed on the Black Ops Tour 1, but I've got less ball speed relative to that speed off the face. It's less efficient, so the more forgiving club head gets a bit more rebound. Very similar path, very similar angle of attack, so my path is in to out, fairly uniform, same variance. Angle of attack, how much I hit up on the golf ball, about the same, and with the same variance, 0.4. So with that more forgiving higher moment of inertia head, I've got a smaller dispersion ring. I go into the Black Ops Tour 1 and I've got a bigger dispersion. Now we could link that quite well to the forgiveness in the club head, and it is a normal thing that I sort of see. Even though we've got less ball speed on the Black Ops Tour 1, I've got more distance because of this. It is spinning less. Higher launch, lower spin when I've got the same shaft on the head. And in another video, this is very consistent, but I had different shafts in each head on the last one. Same shaft, I've got 121 of peak height with the Black Ops Tour 1, 106. So lower peak height, so the wind will affect this one a lot less. This one reaches higher up, so the wind will touch it more. If you play on a links course, that's very beneficial. Also with that lower spin as well, when you hit that shot that goes lower with less spin into the wind, this one is winning hands down. But that's not to say I couldn't get this Black Ops to spin less by having a different loft, adjusting the loft on the hosel, maybe a different shaft that brings the spin down a little bit. Maybe I could get more out of that Black Ops driver to get this dispersion ring further up, because that is spinning a little bit too high. If I can get the launch up and the spin down with that head, I could bring this tight dispersion up here, and that would be lovely. So it's quite impressive there to see that two 9-degree heads do a very different thing. So when golfers say, I'm always a 9-degree head golfer, it's relative to the club that you're using. It's relative to the shaft that you're putting into that loft. The modern drivers are being designed to spin the ball less because it knuckles through the air a lot better. I've had a few fittings recently where we're hitting 2010 drivers and they just weren't designed to spin the ball down as much. There's only so much you can do with the shaft. If you get the shaft and head combination, get fitted, try them out, and make sure you get more than your previous driver if you do have the facilities to do so. But they are the Black Ops and the Black Ops Tour 1 heads, head to head, and I'll see you on the next video.